That frustrating moment when a brilliant idea forms in your mind, but when you open your mouth, it comes out as a jumbled, incoherent mess. We've all been there. But what if you could build a permanent bridge between your mind and your mouth? Most people jump straight to speaking tips, but 99% of them fail because they miss the foundational internal step that makes true clarity possible. Internal clarity. Before a single word ever leaves your lips, the real work of articulation has already begun, or it has failed. We tend to think of clear speaking as a function of our mouth, our vocabulary, or our confidence. But in reality, it is a function of our mind. The number one reason our thoughts come out jumbled is because they are jumbled. Our internal world is often a chaotic blizzard of half-formed ideas, competing emotions, and background noise. We then expect our mouth to act as a magical translator, instantly converting that chaos into a coherent, linear sentence. It's an impossible task, and it sets us up for failure. The first and most critical step to articulating your thoughts is to stop blaming your tongue and start organizing your brain. This is about creating a moment of deliberate internal silence before the external expression. Think of your mind like a messy desk. If I asked you to find a specific paperclip on a desk covered in stacks of documents, old coffee mugs, and tangled wires, it would take you a frantic, stressful minute of rummaging. Your explanation of where it is would be just as chaotic. It's somewhere under this pile, I think, next to the, Now, imagine a clean, organized desk. If I ask for the paperclip, you can say, it's in the top left drawer in the small metal container. The retrieval is effortless, and the explanation is crystal clear. The same principle applies to your thoughts. When you try to speak from a place of mental clutter, you sound hesitant and confused because you are literally searching for the thought as you are speaking. The solution is to learn how to tidy your mental desk before you speak. This is a skill, and it's called metacognition, or thinking about your thinking. The most powerful and practical way to do this is to adopt a simple internal framework. Before you speak, especially in a meeting or an important conversation, take a single quiet breath and ask yourself 3 questions. What is the one single thing I am trying to say? What is my core point? You have to force yourself to distill the blizzard down to a single snowflake. Second, ask yourself, why does this matter to the person I'm speaking to? This forces you to move from your own perspective to your listeners, which is the foundation of all effective communication. And third, what do I want them to do, think, or feel after I've said it? This gives your communication a purpose, a destination. This 3-step process, what, why, and what next, can happen in as little as 5 seconds, but it is utterly transformative. You are no longer rummaging. You are retrieving a thought that has already been identified, polished, and given a purpose. You are creating a thought packet that is ready for delivery. This isn't about scripting your every word. It's about clarifying your core intention. When you are clear on your intention, the words have a magnetic north to align themselves with. This internal discipline is the secret foundation that 99% of people skip. They are so eager to speak that they never take a moment to actually think. But the most articulate people in the world are not the fastest talkers. They are the clearest thinkers. They honor their ideas by giving them a moment of clarity before sending them out into the world. Message framing. Once you have achieved that internal clarity and isolated the core of your thought, the next step is to build a structure around it. An idea without a frame is like a painting without a canvas. It has no form, and it's difficult for others to grasp. Your listener's brain is not a passive receptacle waiting for you to pour information into it. It is an active, pattern-seeking machine that is constantly trying to organize incoming data into a coherent story. If you don't provide a structure for your thoughts, your listener's brain will struggle to create one, and your message will get lost in the effort. The most articulate communicators are, at their core, brilliant architects. They don't just present ideas, they build a logical and emotional scaffolding that makes it effortless for the listener to follow along and arrive at the intended conclusion. One of the most powerful and universally effective frameworks is a simple 4-part structure you can use for almost any situation, from answering a question in a meeting to giving a formal presentation. It's called the PREP method: point, reason, example, point. It's a beautifully simple way to frame your thought packet for maximum impact. You start by making your main point. This is the single snowflake you identified in the internal clarity phase. You state it directly and concisely right at the beginning. I believe we should invest in the new software. This immediately tells your listener's brain what to expect and how to categorize the information that follows. No rambling introductions, just the core message, clean and clear. Next, you provide the reason. This is the why behind your point. Why should they care? What is the logic or data that supports your assertion? Because the research shows it will increase our team's productivity by over 20%. This appeals to the logical part of your listener's brain and gives your point credibility. It moves your statement from a mere opinion to a well-supported argument. The third step, and this is where so many people fall short, is the example. Our brains are not wired to remember abstract data. They are wired to remember stories and concrete instances. The example is what makes your reason come alive. For instance, the team at our competitor, Innovate Corp, implemented this exact system last year, and they were able to reduce their project completion time from 10 days to 7. This creates a mental movie in your listener's mind, making your point tangible and memorable. Finally, you repeat your point. You bring the conversation full circle, restating your core message to ensure it lands and is remembered. That's why I'm confident that investing in this new software is the right move for us. This repetition acts as a powerful summary, cementing the key takeaway in your listener's memory. This prep framework does all the heavy lifting for you. It takes the clear thought you developed and automatically organizes it into a logical, persuasive, and easy-to-follow narrative. It prevents you from rambling, it ensures you provide justification for your claims, and it makes your message sticky. Using a frame like this is not about being robotic. It's about being respectful of your listener's time and cognitive energy. You are making it easy for them to understand you, and in doing so, you appear exponentially more intelligent, prepared, and articulate. Confident delivery, you have achieved internal clarity. You have framed your message beautifully. Now, for the final mile, the delivery. This is where your well-crafted thought meets the air and becomes sound. The way you deliver your words can either honor all the internal work you've done or completely sabotage it. Your voice, your pace, and your nonverbal signals are the packaging for your ideas. You can have the most valuable gift in the world, but if it's presented in a crumpled, dirty bag, its perceived value plummets. Confident, clear delivery is what ensures that the brilliance of your internal thought and the logic of your frame are received with the weight and credibility they deserve. It's the final, crucial link in the chain of articulation. Let's start with the pace. Nerves and mental clutter cause us to speak too quickly. We rush our words as if we're afraid of taking up too much time or being interrupted. This high-speed delivery makes it incredibly difficult for the listener to keep up, and it signals a lack of confidence. The most articulate speakers wield silence as a powerful tool. They speak in thought chunks, not a continuous stream of words. They make a point, and then they pause. This pause does two magical things. First, it gives the listener a moment to absorb what was just said. It's like a comma or a period in a written sentence. It provides structure and improves comprehension. Second, it projects immense confidence. It signals that you are so comfortable with your own ideas that you don't need to rush them. You are in control of the space. To practice this, try to replace every or with a silent 1-second pause. It will feel awkward at first, but it will sound like pure poise to your audience. Next is your vocal tone, specifically the melody of your voice. A monotone delivery is the enemy of engagement. It signals boredom and makes every part of your message sound equally important, which means nothing sounds important. To be articulate, you must use vocal variety to guide your listener's attention. Think of it as vocal highlighting. When you get to a key word or the most important part of your message, you can emphasize it by slightly increasing your volume, raising your pitch, or even slowing down your pace for that specific phrase. This adds color and texture to your speech, keeping your listener engaged and making it clear what you want them to focus on. A simple way to practice this is to read a paragraph from a book out loud and deliberately try to emphasize a different word each time you read it, noticing how it changes the meaning. You are the conductor of your message. Use your voice to create the symphony. Finally, ensure your delivery is declarative. This goes back to the concept of upspeak, where statements end with a rising intonation that makes them sound like questions. It's a vocal habit that reeks of uncertainty, as if you're seeking approval for your own thoughts. To sound truly articulate and confident, you must end your statements with a slight downward inflection. It's the vocal equivalent of putting a period at the end of a sentence. It signals finality and conviction. I think we should go with option A, is a suggestion seeking validation. I believe we should go with option A, is a clear, confident recommendation. This small change in vocal tonality makes a world of difference in how your ideas are perceived. It tells the world that you stand behind your words. When you combine a deliberate pace, vocal variety, and a declarative tone, your delivery becomes a powerful amplifier for the clarity you've already cultivated within. The ability to articulate your thoughts clearly is not a gift you are born with. It is a skill you build. It is the result of a three-part discipline: the courage to find clarity inside your own mind, the wisdom to frame your ideas for others, and the confidence to deliver them with conviction. It is the ultimate act of respect for your own intelligence and for the attention of those who are listening. It closes the painful gap between the person you are on the inside and the person you present to the world, allowing your true value to shine through, clear and unmistakable. YouTube comment: which part of this process, the internal clarity, the message framing, or the confident delivery, feels like the biggest hurdle for you right now? Be honest. Recognizing the starting point is half the battle.